Hey there folks, Andre the Game Idea Guy here, and welcome to another Pick Your Poison discussion. And now look, people, I'm trying to figure out what day this is going to fall on and how often these are going to come out. I do like doing them, but I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to incorporate these into the many other things I have going on that I'm trying to get done. So bear with me. I know the first one was on a Monday, this one's on a Friday. Again, bear with me, please. That being said, here are your choices. You get to be stuck in the world of Mass Effect or stuck in the world of Star Wars KOTOR, which means 1 and 2, specifically that duology of games. Nothing outside of that. All right. So we're going to dive into the Mass Effect scenario that I'm going to give you first. Cool? Cool. All right. For Mass Effect, there are only a few rules specific to this situation. 1, you have to be human. I know that there are people that want to be Turian, Krogan, potentially even Asari. I'm sorry, but for this scenario, you have to be human. There are no two ways about it. You are human. Okay? Now, that being said, you are not replacing Commander Shepard in any way, shape, or form. Okay, that's the second rule. Third, you have a wide berth of possibilities to choose from. You can be the standard NPC that's just living and enjoying the advanced technology and the differences in the world and being able to interact with various different types of people. Or you could go the route of being in the military. You could be a gangster, drug lord, whatever you wish to be. You can be any of those things in that scenario. You can be a normal person. You could be a biotic if you wanted. You could be a hyped up tech enthusiast or a combination of any of those things. These are what you are allowed to consider for your place in this story. Now, you also have to be a part of the world leading up to the Reaper invasion. You're not allowed to skip over that event. You have to be part of it. That's the other part. So, it's going to suck for some people. It's going to suck for some people. But you could potentially be, again, a normal person all the way up to being one of the crew members on the Normandy. But you gotta be careful of which version of the Normandy you're a crew member of. Because, let's be for real, first one didn't fare too well after the first game. But all of that said and thought about, you're stuck in this world leading up to the battle with the Reapers. What choices are you making? What are you doing? Now, I will give you this. You will be aware of the Reapers coming. You will be aware of that threat. One way or another, you become cognizant of it, and you don't give up on the notion that they are coming and will, take out people. You know about it. Whether that's because of what happened in the end of Mass Effect 1, with Saren and Sovereign, or you just ended up on that information through back channels, which is a possibility in Mass Effect. That is a possibility to happen, that you can get that information through back channels. Okay? But one way or another, you become aware of the Reaper threat. You can attempt to try to sway them to what you want to do and fail. Again, the world leaves you possibilities. Where would you place yourself? And what are you going to be doing leading into that battle with the Reapers? If you chose this world, what are you going to be doing? Are you going to be hedonistic and enjoying all of life's pleasures up until the very end? Or are you going to do something to try to help people? You've got a lot of choices. And I'm interested to see what people may say if they choose this route. I'll give you guys my answer towards the end, like I always do. But now we're going to move on over to the world of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Again, we are focusing on the 2 games specifically for Knights of the Old Republic. So I'm not focused on anything that happens after that with Star Wars The Old Republic. Just Knights of the Old Republic. Because, as we know, there is continuity between the 2 games. And you could theoretically move from one point at the beginning. You could move from the beginning point of Knights of the Old Republic to the end point of Knights of the Old Republic 2. You could theoretically do that, even though you'd be following 2 different main characters. Again, you are not replacing the main characters. You're not replacing Revan, and you're not replacing the Exile. I keep forgetting her name. Sorry. But you're not replacing the Exile. So, where do you find yourself? Are you going to be on the ship with Revan when the Sith attack, and be there when Trask decides that he's got to fight a member of the Sith who has a lightsaber with a vibroblade? Are you going to be part of the crew that's trying to get all of this information based upon the different artifacts that are laid and scattered about different worlds? Would you be there when Malik decides that he's going to destroy a whole planet because of one single person? Where do you find yourself starting from with this story? Are you going to be part of the Knights of the Old Republic 2 crew only, and potentially have been a dark side user who just happens to change their ways? Maybe you don't even want to be part of the member using the Force. Maybe you just want to be somebody who's a gunslinger. You might want to be, I don't know, a bandit of some sort, or maybe a bounty hunter. Again, there's a lot of possibilities open to you. You just can't replace the main character, and you kind of have to be a part of the story. You could be an antagonist or a member of the protagonist team. Those are your choices. You have to be part of the larger picture of the story, though. And I'm not giving you a dedicated start point, because there are so many start points for different characters throughout this story. Same with Mass Effect, but there are so many different start points for characters that you could theoretically just fall into place anywhere, as long as you give yourself significant time to have build-up or reputation. You can't just be thrown in at the last minute. So that's the main caveat for this. You can't be thrown in during the final battles, because at that point you have no build-up, you have no training, you basically get wrecked. So let's not put you in either of the final battle situations. Alright? We're not going to do that to you. You're going to have at least half a game's worth of build-up. So you can't just hop in at the end and be like, yay, I was a part of the action, because you more than likely get nixed because you don't have build-up. Okay? And in your versions of these worlds, what happens? Does Bastila turn to the dark side completely? Does she die at the end of Knights of the Old Republic? Or does she return back to the light? These are things and details that you would have to consider. And again, be interesting to see where it leads. But that's it for that. I'm not going to dive too much more into those things. Now, as for which world I would personally choose to be in myself, and how my scenario would potentially play out, I would join the world of Mass Effect. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars, but I have found myself playing Mass Effect on a regular basis now, because that game gives me so many more possibilities than Star Wars KOTOR did. And I still play that. I still play KOTOR 1 and 2. But Mass Effect's world just is more interesting to me. Being able to be a normal person, getting biotic capabilities, and potentially being a tech head as well as a soldier, you can do all of that. I forget which one is specifically called. I want to say it's Vanguard. I'm probably wrong because I haven't looked at that menu screen for a while to decide, but you know what I'm talking about. I would thoroughly enjoy getting ingrained in that world. And I think for me, my path would start off being a normal citizen, one who's probably got biotic capabilities and loves playing around with computers. But eventually something would happen. I don't know what. Something would probably happen that would cause me to find out, like, being that I'd be a tech enthusiast, playing around on the internet, or the extranet as it's called in Mass Effect, and finding out about people going crazy at random and attacking people that they know. I'd probably start questioning it, be wondering what's going on, dive a little bit deeper into it, hear the rumors about the Reapers, as then the whole Sovereign and Saren thing happens on the Citadel, which I would not be at the Citadel, but I'd learn about it. I could see myself more likely being on Omega than on the Citadel during the first game. And Omega is already rough as it is, especially with Arya having everybody slaughtered that steps up against her. And I would stupidly be there trying to find some way to get her interest because I'm crazy enough to attempt it. But that's where I would be. Then I'd find out about the whole Reaper situation, and after Shepard dies and see how everything gets covered up, I would probably be like, nah, I don't respect this. And then learning about him coming back, I would probably try to be a member of his crew. One way or the other, I would probably try to be a member of his crew. Now, me being in the tech would probably put me at odds with Tally, or we'd end up working together, but one way or the other, I know that would lead to me and her at least having some sort of confrontation with each other. Because if I'm there doing tech and she comes in doing tech, we gonna come to some words with each other, and probably after that become brotherly and sisterly with each other. Because when I play Mass Effect, Tally is the little sister to me. She's the little sister to me. She's always the little sister. So I could see me and her personally starting off on a bad foot, and then once we sorted everything out, we'd be best buddies. Be best buddies. If we be doing combo tech attacks on stuff for Shepard, and then on top of that, you got to include Edie. And Edie probably wouldn't like me because I'd be talking mad smack back to Edie. I could see me talking mad smack back to Edie in the second game. Me and her, it would be similar to the relationship she has with Joker, where they are diametrically opposed to each other starting out. But I know I wouldn't be captured with the rest of the crew by the collectors when that happens. All that stuff that's going down, I'd be part of the cast of Shepard's crew. Just an addition. Oh, actually, they'll probably put me at odds with Kasumi too, because Kasumi's also big on tech. But she's also very stealthy, so she probably wouldn't care. I know she'd be judgmental of me as hell in private. She'd be very judgmental of me, talking stuff about me. And then I could find out, and I would go and talk to her and be like, hey, look, let's have a conversation, me and you, because I don't like that. I know that you're talking shit. I could also see me being very interested in how Garrus keeps calibrating the gun systems and trying to figure out why he's constantly doing it. Even if that's his thing, that's the thing he's good at. I would probably be up there investigating what he's doing. Just because it would be like, you've been playing around with this for 3 days. What have you done with it? I'd also probably get along with Dr. Chocola's because she's so motherly, and I would see myself potentially just going into the med bay, checking on her every now and again because of the fact she's so motherly. Jacob, I don't know if I get along with. He's too straight-laced. I probably wouldn't get along with him. And Miranda, to me personally, I know if not knowing her in that perspective, I'd be like, she's a little too uptight for me. I'm gonna stay away from her. Unless it's part of the mission. Then we have to think about Jack. Jack, I would likely stay away from too, because I wouldn't want to upset her and then become space dust. So I think even having biotic capabilities, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna stay away from her. Like, I could fight her, but not gonna risk it. There's a reason she was locked up the way she was. I'm not gonna risk it. Now Morden, I could see me listening to Morden's stories all of the time. I'd be up in his lab just listening to his stories, because Morden seems like a really good storyteller, and from everything that he's done in Mass Effect 2 and ultimately to Mass Effect 3, which was emotional for a lot of people. Morden, I would sit and listen to him talk. I would listen to him talk in his weird over expletive way of saying things. I would listen to him and constantly be asking him about his Solarian war efforts and things like that. I would want to learn from him. I know I would. Grunt. If Grunt was not activated, but Grunt was released, I could see me trying to find a way to quell that anger he has, but not do it too tough, not be too hard on it. But I could also see me and Grunt getting along after a certain point, because I'd start telling jokes. And if I started telling jokes, Grunt seems like the kind of character, especially from what goes on in Mass Effect 3, Grunt is the kind of character who wants to see and hear people suffering, but in the most spectacular ways. And I could easily come up with jokes or stories for him that would let me get along with him. Zaid, I don't know. I never really liked him as a character in the first place. And I know that's probably going to upset somebody, but I don't really like him. I think my personality just wouldn't work around him, so I'd keep it strictly on a professional level and stay the hell away from him. Now, Legion, on the other hand. Legion's a piece of technology, and I would be very interested in learning about Legion. I just wouldn't have a whole lot of time during Mass Effect 2, unfortunately. But I'd be super interested in learning about Legion. So I would probably be more diplomatic in how I address Legion, just like my normal version of Shepard would be. I'd be very diplomatic in dealing with Legion. Now, the Shepard I would see myself working under wouldn't be a renegade Shepard. I'd see that this Shepard would take renegade actions, like do some things because they are necessary. But I'd see myself working with a mostly Paragon Shepard, just because that's what makes the most sense. Because if we're trying to protect the galaxy, we're going to need as many people available as possible. So again, I can see myself working with a more Paragon Shepard. Whether that's a man or a woman, a more Paragon Shepard, just because that's how most of my playthroughs go. Is that most of the stuff is Paragon actions and thoughts, because I see that this person is trying to save the universe, not necessarily just be a dickhead throughout it. So the majority of my story would take place in Mass Effect 2, obviously. And I'd probably come back for Mass Effect 3 after Earth falls. Well, not necessarily falls, but after the attack on Earth. I'd probably likely find my way to the Citadel so that I could meet with Shepard once he got there. Because obviously, if I know something's going down on Earth, I'm going to the Citadel because I'm very certain that Shepard is going to go there. That's my thought process. I'm going to go there because I know Shepard's going to go there. And the moment I find him, I'm offering my help. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm offering my help because this is the person I think can help everybody. So I'm going to be there, be ready to do whatever. I'm just not going to be part of the Alliance military. Can't do it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Like, nope, not me. I'm not going to be part of the Alliance military, but I'll be there to help. Like, Shep, you need me? I'm here. I will blow people out the sky if you need me to. I will hack into terminals if you need me to. I'll be there to help whatever way I can to help you, bro. Or lady. But I'd be there to help. And again, with everybody returning, coming back, this is where I'd finally meet Rex. And I'd probably have the same attitude towards Rex as I'd have towards Grunt. Even though Rex is the older of them. Actually, no, I'd meet Rex in Mass Effect 2 now I'm thinking about it. This would be the chance for me to actually get to know Rex, I should say. Not necessarily meet, but I get to know him. So I'd be doing whatever I could. And when the situation about Miranda comes up with her sister and stuff, I would probably be trying to help Shep with that, even though I wouldn't personally care for Miranda myself. But understanding that she turned over a new leaf and she's trying to lead her life in a different way, do whatever I can to help. Finding out about Jacob, I'd be surprised. Like, I didn't think he had it in him to go and get somebody knocked up. And then again, this is under the understanding that the entire crew survives Mass Effect 2. Like, the suicide mission doesn't actually end up being a suicide mission. Everybody survives. Even the NPC crew members, everybody survives. Should have said that. Again, this is my scenario for it. Oh, I didn't even say anything about Thane. Thane, my boy Thane. I would probably be, I didn't think about it, but I'd probably be there for his particular loyalty quest for Mass Effect 2 to try to get through to his son. Because I am big on family personally, and I think families should be able to be together and be able to support each other. So personally, I would want to be there when that happened. Just putting that on to say. But learning about Thane being sick in the hospital, I'd definitely go ahead and pay him some visits, check up on him, make sure he's doing all right. And after the coup attempt at the Citadel, Kai Lang, enemy number one, because you done took out my boy, and we gonna have some issues. You be lucky if Shepard is the one that kills you and not me. Like, just put that forward. Or like, because there's events on Thessia. Oh nah, you best believe I'm gonna be there to learn about that artifact and then see Kai Lang on site. I'm not even gonna give him a chance to run. I am going to go straight at him. I don't give a dag. I don't care what Shepard says. I'm going after him. Took out Thane. I'm gonna take you out. You be lucky to get away and think that the missile's gonna do something, because again, makes you wonder, because you think that there are characters with biotic abilities that could have redirected those missiles that got launched into that the temple, that Asari temple shrine thing. I would have redirected those things at least away from the potential chance of having a pit where anyone could fall into it. I would have directed those missiles away. Now, dealing with the Reapers, whatever Shepard says is what I'm doing at that point. Kai Lang, nope. I'm going for Merkin. And when they attack the Cerberus station, if you taking Edie, you taking me. I'm going. I don't care who else wants to come, but I'm going. I'm part of that hit squad for that, because if Kai Lang survives the first time, I'm coming back for round 2. I'm not going to let him get away with it. For the stuff that came before that, all the side stuff, definitely try to be there for Grissom Academy. I don't know why my tongue got stuck in my mouth. But be there for Grissom Academy. I'm going to leave this in just because. But get there for Grissom Academy. And be surprised that Jack has turned over a new leaf. Maybe try to be more friendly with her. She's still very powerful, and I could use that in my back pocket if anything ever happens. Now the Omega stuff, Shepard goes by their self, unfortunately. I'd be a little bit pissed. Like, come find out about that, be a little bit pissed off. Like, why wasn't I taken? I could have gone. I could have, you know, worked out something with Arya. Maybe bridge a little bit more of a gap there. But no, you know what? I'd accept it, and probably pay her a visit on the Citadel every now and again. I know it would fail, but I would attempt. Oh man. There's a lot of stuff that happens throughout the story that I know I am glossing over just because I don't want to do super deep dive into everything. But when the final march on Earth happens, I'm there, obviously. Being part of Shepard's crew, you ain't got no choice. But being part of Shepard's crew is honestly the safest place to be. Look, it's some tough fights, but being part of Shepard's crew with the plot armor that man has or girl has, it's the safest place to be. It could be the most dangerous. It can be the most dangerous, but if you're following a Paragon Shepard, it is the safest place to be, is to be a part of his crew or her crew. So again, Paragon Shepard, safest place to be. So with all of that in mind, I'm there. Whatever happens on Earth happens. I don't know if I'd survive it. I'd try, but I don't know if I would. And I don't know if I'd be going into the next Mass Effect game at all. But this would be the run I'd be dedicated to sticking to. This would be what I'd be dedicated to sticking to, making sure I helped Shepard along the way. And most of this video was me giving my answer. Most of this discussion was me giving my answer to that question. Now that that is done and out the way, I again pose to you, based on the scenarios I gave you, which world would you put yourself in? Would you be in Mass Effect or Knights of the Old Republic? Go ahead and give your answers down below or in the comments on Spotify if you want to. And otherwise, thank you guys very much for listening again. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games and peace out, everybody.